Boy meets girl. Girl wants Freddy. Freddy wants blood.
Hey Fred heads, welcome back for another look at the ridiculously cheesy Freddy's Nightmares. Today we'll be checking out Safe Sex, one of the more controversial episodes in this series from what I gather. Safe Sex follows Dana Pritchard, a young virgin teen, full of raging hormones and a thing for the mysterious Freddy-obsessed goth girl, Caitlin. The episode begins as Dana is speaking to what I'm guessing is the school psychologist. He's in that awkward phase in life where your hormones are like a raging freight train, and you just don't know what the hell to do about it.
Would it help if I told you that I see an analyst myself?
No, that wouldn't help at all. I don't need to know that the person who's supposed to be helping me is also a nutcase.
I'm just not into the girl next door type.
So he's seeing a shrink because he likes girls. Oh no, somebody better lock this kid up. It's not just any girl though, it's the hot goth girl who he has absolutely no chance in hell with.
His name's Dana. Yeah. He was just admiring your, costuming.
Costume? It's not a costume, it's a way of life. Caitlin has no time for a couple of dorks. She's busy reading all about her main squeeze, Freddy Krueger. I mean, I understand where she's coming from. The burnt flesh, those yellow rotting teeth, the desire to murder small children, what's not to like? Unfortunately for Dana, his friend Nicholas sort of cockblocks him by mocking Caitlin's little obsession with Freddy.
She's hot for Freddy Krueger. Dweeb.
I want to punch Nicholas so bad. Still though, this minor slip-up isn't about to deter Dana from his goth mommy. She is a senior after all, and he's just a baby-faced junior. I still don't understand why Dana is seeing a shrink because he has a crush on a goth girl. If that's all it takes, I should have been locked up in the loony bin when I was his age. Dana seems to like her because she's mysterious and hard to get.
I don't want things to come too easy.
The doc seems to think Dana wants to possess Caitlin, but not in the fun Evil Dead sort of way, more so in the you're gonna be locked up in my basement sort of way. Dana then starts talking about the dreams he has about her, and I'm starting to question the doc's true motives here. In Dana's dream, Caitlin still has her ridiculous wig, but she's lost in some weird-ass mausoleum or something.
Freddy.
Caitlin's hot for Freddy.
Don't worry, Caitlin, Dana will protect you from Freddy. He tells Caitlin to go into one of the crypts claiming it's the way out, but I think he just wanted to stare at her butt. Then he sort of just acts confused, like he doesn't know where she went, even though he literally just told her to crawl through here. I wonder if Freddy knows where Caitlin went. Dana wakes up from his dream and notices Freddy left a nice little bruise around his neck.
You ever try to talk sex stuff with a teenage boy? No.
What the hell kind of reaction is that? I knew there was something weird about this doctor. At school, Dana tries explaining his bruise to Nicholas, but he just mocks him because he can't seem to take anything serious.
Get off your back, get off your back. Your back ain't the problem, pal. Getting what's-her-name over there onto hers is.
Oh my god. That's right, as we all know, all a goth girl needs is a little action from a dorky guy. Nicholas seems to have a thing for Caitlin as well, but he's willing to put that aside to help his buddy score. And by help, I mean he gives him a book on how to pick up girls, which I'm sure will give Dana all the tools he needs to hook up with Caitlin. You know, Nicholas comes off as one of those guys back in high school who always talked up a big game, but has likely only kissed one of his cousins.
Suki, Nicholas? Suki's the one that chews that watermelon-flavored bubble gum?
Oh no, not watermelon-flavored bubble gum. She sounds like a freak. Is Dana really in any position to be calling out people for how they look? Oh, come on, no Freddy pun?
How's about a little head?
See, it practically writes itself.
Teenagers are supposed to have a rich and active fantasy life, aren't they?
This shrink is way too excited to talk about teen fantasies. Dana worries that if he were to actually get together with Caitlin, which I'm assuming would only happen in some bizarro universe where up is down, that she would be too much for him. And yeah, no shit. Sometime later, Dana is reading his little pickup book, but immediately falls asleep and dreams that Caitlin is wearing something skimpy. I'm assuming he's explaining all of this to the shrink. That guy seems to want exact details.
Except I wish she wouldn't wear the wardrobe of the living dead so much.
Wait, you don't want your goth girl to dress like a goth girl?
I always wondered what she looked like as a blonde.
So he's seeing a shrink because he has a thing for some goth girl, but in his fantasies, he doesn't want her wearing goth clothing, and he also wants her to be blonde. So then why not just crush on a random blonde girl that wears traditional clothing? You know, I like goth girls, I just hate all the things that make them goth. Dana looks like he's about to have a heart attack.
Nobody wearing this many clothes can be comfortable.
Things get a little awkward when Nicholas walks in on the fun, and then Dana's mom. Where did that cigar come from? Why is there a gun? I honestly have no idea what the hell is going on at this point. Dana runs and finds himself in the spooky mausoleum with Caitlin, who now has a third wig. Dana wakes from his dream screaming because girls are scary. Except this is a dream within a dream, so Caitlin has to come back and torture him some more. She's removed her clothing like what, 15 times at this point?
Let me give you a helping hand.
Mom, could you give your son some privacy? Alright, so Dana didn't exactly make it, but that's only the first half of the episode. Now we're stuck with Nicholas and Bubblegum Girl. Caitlin walks up to the funeral and Nicholas uses this opportunity to berate her and call her out for her love of Freddy.
And what might this be? Ah, yes.
You know, that's actually a pretty cool sketch. I'm not quite sure why Nicholas is so upset with Caitlin. It's not like she killed Dana. I mean, it looked like her, but we all know it was Freddy. Since Dana is dead, I guess it's Caitlin's turn with the shrink, but he's a lot more aggressive with her. I guess he can't get all hot and bothered listening to teen boys talk about their fantasies anymore.
Danger. I guess you identify with Fred Krueger.
You know, I'm something of a Fred Krueger myself. Nicholas attempts to apologize to Caitlin for how he acted at the funeral and even tries to distance himself from Suki.
Where's your little girlfriend, the gum chewer?
Why does everyone hate the fact this girl chews gum? Nicholas makes it very clear though that Suki isn't his girlfriend. She's, you know, just a friend.
Listen, I was just wondering if maybe...
No, you're gonna ask me out.
So Nicholas waits until his friend is dead, and then tries to swoop in and get the girl he knows his friend was crazy for, while also playing mind games with another girl who everyone makes fun of for chewing gum. Nicholas is quite the classy gentleman, but I'm not sure what this hobbit-looking fool thinks is gonna happen. Caitlin already has a man, and his name is Freddy Krueger.
Fred Krueger had power. I want that power.
Nicholas, she's nuts. I'm gonna put this very gently, but you never hook up with crazy. The way she talks about Freddy is how 14-year-old boys talk about Andrew Tate. Nicholas basically begs the girl to go out with him, but what's wrong with his head? It's like it's too big for his body. Caitlin doesn't entirely shoot him down and actually gives him a maybe, and then he just stares at her butt as she walks away, probably wondering if that dress comes in his size. Now we know we're at Caitlin's place because who else would have spirit Halloween candelabras and a Ouija board on the wall?
Here's Do My Will or Else by the Janitors of Anarchy. A special request for Caitlin with love from Freddy.
Aw, isn't that sweet? Freddy's making special requests on the radio.
It was on the radio. It was an actual voice.
Isn't that what a radio is for? I guess I've been using mine all wrong. The shrink then accuses her obsession with Freddy causing her to see and hear things, like spooky voices coming from the radio.
I've seen this sort of case before.
How'd it turn out for the patient?
What is this, Lethal Weapon now? Meanwhile, Nicholas is making out with Suki, you know, the girl he's not seeing, and he gets a little offended when Suki won't do a little sucky. Also, what the hell is this face? He has a giant head and the shoulders of a little old lady. Caitlin suddenly appears and she seems happy, which is weird.
You, me, tonight?
Why wait till tonight?
Ma'am, this is a library. Surprise, surprise, Nicholas is dreaming.
It's time you've had your first shave. It'll make you a man.
What did she shave? You'd think a teen boy would be more excited in a dream like this, but Nicholas is absolutely terrified, because as we all know, cooties come from girls.
You and all the rest of the spuds at school think I'm some kind of black magic pervert.
Someone please use Black Magic Pervert as your band name. Dream Caitlin seems pretty upset about some of the things Nicholas had said about her in the past, even though the real Caitlin was never around to actually hear them. So she strapped him to the Wheel of Misfortune. But where have I heard that before? Wait, does this mean Caitlin was dreaming about Nicholas making out with Suki and then herself wearing next to nothing at the library? Either Freddy wrote that or it was the Macho Man. Caitlin gets a phone call and it's Nicholas. She never gave him her number, but this was back in the day when you could just simply stalk someone from a phone book. Nicholas attempts to ask her out again, but she's like, sorry, I'm washing my hair tonight.
On my sketchbook, real blood.
Just as I said.
You never said blood would appear on her sketchbook. Nah, Doc here thinks her hallucinations, as he calls them, have gone from auditory to visual.
Stigmata, then. Autosuggestion, interesting.
I like how casual he is about this. Oh, blood, well that's just stigmata. You know, when every girl hits a certain age, they begin bleeding from their hands once a month. Perfectly normal. Seems Caitlin is starting to come to the realization that Freddy may not have been the super cool dude that she thought he was.
It's your interpretation of Fred Krueger. I suggest that if you want him out of your dreams, you are eminently capable of evicting him yourself.
Yeah, until she discovers Freddy knows all about squatters' rights. Good luck evicting him then. I'm not really sure the shrink understands the severity of what's happening. He literally tells her to just dream about Freddy and get this whole thing over with. That's not great advice, Doc. Caitlin decides to take said advice, so she pops a sleeping pill to confront Freddy. I guess she's gonna confront him at makeout point. Her car starts doing all sorts of wacky things, like the radio blasting or the seatbelt buckling itself. And when she attempts to do something about it, they seem to injure her hands, although I think it's just her monthly stigmata.
I am not afraid of a little blood!
Oh damn, she must be related to Joey. Don't worry though, Caitlin, because a creepy cop has shown up and he just turned off his body cam. Wait.
It's about time you climbed out for a little poke and pat.
Excuse me, a what?
For a little poke and pat.
And a real shocking twist that I never saw coming. The cop was actually that little rascal Freddy.
Let's make mouth music, baby.
Yeah, I'll give that one about a 5 out of 10. While Caitlin makes out with the man of her dreams, Nicholas decides to go to her house, but looks like he's a little too late. Like real late. Freddy sucked the life right out of her, though it's not the first time he's done that. I love how they let Nicholas get right up and close to her body, even opening up the body bag a bit so he can see the carving Freddy left in her chest. Aw, Caitlin and Freddy forever. You know, Freddy really is a romantic. Of all the Freddy's nightmares we've looked at, this one might be the weakest so far. Safe sex is pretty funny if you want to make fun of it, but if you're not watching it for a laugh, you'll likely be pretty bored. The Freddy stuff is alright, but they don't really seem to do anything fun with it. In previous episodes, they at least tried to do something interesting with the nightmares, but here it was mostly creepy sets that I'm sure they had laying around from something else, and a bit of spooky lighting. What's strange is when this episode went into syndication, they removed 8 minutes of footage that they considered to be explicit. But I would love to know what their definition of explicit is, because there really is nothing in this that I could see warranting a cut. There's no language.
Dweeb.
There really isn't any kind of violence or gore. You might see a little blood, but that's nothing. Also, for an episode called Safe Sex, there's no nudity or sex. Yeah, Caitlin is wearing some skimpy outfits here and there, but a bikini is more revealing than what she had on.
There, how's that? Better?
For context though, this was the conservative 80s, and a lot of horror films were feeling the pinch when it came to what was allowed and what wasn't. Take Friday the 13th Part 7 for instance. The movie was cut to hell by censors at the time, and most of the deaths throughout were all off screen. So it's not really surprising that a show based off an 80s slasher film series would feel the wrath of the censors. Still, in hindsight, it's kind of silly considering what's allowed on TV today. But if you've seen the episode, what do you think of it? Let me know down in the comments. Anyways, that's all for today. Hopefully I will see you in the next video, and stay spooky.
But there are some girls you just shouldn't go to pieces over.